Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. For starters, the SGX Nifty suggesting that we're going to open up in the green. But remember, on a day-to-day basis, we do have a fair bit of intraday volatility. So let's hope, from a bullish perspective, that we can build onto those gains. But plenty of stocks to discuss. And to help us out with that, we're joined by Hemang Jani, Retail Equity Strategist at Motilal Oswal. Hi, Hemang. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Hemang, I wanted to ask you about Paytm. The stock is a third of what it was when it listed. But there is some positive news flow that's coming on there. You got those, NPCI, they announced that wallet interoperability guidelines, which could be good for them. Besides that, any view on the stock at current reckoning?
Good morning, Nigel. I think Paytm, if you see past few months, we've seen a good, pullback in the stock, and the data points, in terms of the usage and also the management commentary in terms of turning into, profitability much ahead of time is surely helping the stock, and it has done pretty well. I think the recent guidelines wherein the KYC related norms are relaxed could add to this positivity, and you might see some more upside, but this is the space where we are not too confident about in terms of how the market would take because of the way things have panned out over the last 1.5 years. So they do provide short-term opportunities for retail traders, 10-15%, and from that perspective, surely it's looking good. But we would avoid, giving a long-term view because of various moving parts.
Hemang, in your conversations, the way the market sold off yesterday, right? Anything? Is it to do with these tax changes? Are you hearing anything just in terms of market chatter, feedback? More money, at least in the next 1 week or so, going into debt funds? Locking in those rates. Anything you can tell us? Yeah, go on.
So, Prashant, I think if you see Bank Nifty has been underperforming for almost now about a month or so, and maybe partly it has something to do with what has happened in terms of this, capital gains, relaxation, indexation benefit which was there. But I do not think that would have a big impact on the market as such, and to some extent that is slightly positive for the banks. So in terms of flows, yes, it's possible that because the already rate of interest are higher and this new changes are going to be effective from 1st of April, some people may take advantage of that, so that might be a factor. But I think the reason why the market sold off yesterday has more to do with the fact that, you have an expiry, and this entire month, the Bank Nifty in particular has remained sluggish and it's underperforming. So I think you might see some sort of a base formation, maybe, in a couple of days, and we do expect some uptick because of the severe correction that we already gone through, and there is some degree of stability in the global markets. The contagion is not spreading, and we do think that this would provide a good entry point into some of the banking names.
Okay, a good entry point into some of the banking names. Got that. Anything else that you like, Hemang? What else would you buy in this market, either from large caps or mid caps?
So, Sonia, I think, we think that banks definitely would be on top of mind because of the severe correction. And we think that there is a fair degree of stability when it comes to earning. I don't think there's going to be any major negative surprises. I think auto is going to be a bit patchy because, this Gudi Padwa and the Navratra, the overall response that we've got from the channel checks has not been that great. Particularly in Maharashtra, we haven't really seen any major positive surprise. The rainfall, which we've seen in Punjab, Haryana, etc., could have some negative rub off. The rural side is struggling. So auto is something that, we are not too positive, but maybe Ashok Leyland or some of the CV companies is where we are positively biased. We would avoid IT in a major way, but surely I think some of the pharma and the consumer names which have been laggards, I think you might see some, pop there. We've seen Aurobindo Pharma, Sun Pharma, pulling back very smartly. So I think because of that, you might see some stability and strength in some of these names.
Okay, well, stay on. We'll come back to you in a bit. For now, let's also talk to our corporate. Shantanu Khosa, the Managing Director at Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals, joins us now. about the acquisition as well as the way forward. Remember, Crompton has announced the merger with Butterfly